and welcome to another episode. And now I'm introducing our guest, Alex. Ayo, young one, young, my man. Welcome to the show, big dog. What's happening?
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be here.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So we're here in the 2023 Budapest World Championships, and look, talk to me about this competition. What's happened here? What have you seen? What have you done? Ups and downs, highs and lows. Talk to me.
Man, so this World Championships is honestly the best one I think I've ever been to. I guess as a group for Team USA, not so much as an individual. The performances have been incredible, especially in the field with the throws. You know, I'm a big throws fanatic. So seeing a lot of the performances, like in the men's hammer, the women's discus, are some of the two that stand out the most to me. It's been awesome to watch so far. Budapest is a lovely city. I've had a chance to explore the city in the last couple of days, and I feel like I've had 3 days in one, to be honest. so it's been great.
So I hear you've been biking through Budapest. Is that the case?
But yeah, my quad still hurt right now.
Man, you got to be on the 30-speed bike, man. You a big dude, man. What the hell kind of bike you rolling around on, man?
On the little 8-speed bikes we rented out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, for those of you who know or don't, Alex is a hammer thrower. You didn't have, from a athletic standpoint, performance standpoint, I know you would have wanted to do a lot more out there. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about that, man.
Man, this season's honestly been really tough for me. So I'm just going to back the story up just a little bit. So I had about a month and a half where I was unable to train on a regular basis due to working as well as a family member passing away.
Condolences.
Yeah, thank you. And also just injury from trying to train through it. So during that time period, I was maybe able to catch a training session or two out of that full 6-week period. So I really felt like I was about a month and a half behind this entire season. And so you lose the reps, right? And the reps are so important in a technical event like the hammer. So coming here, I was able to put it together at USA. It's just on the big emotional high. And usually I'm just able to compete very well when it matters. And so getting here, I could tell that I wasn't as sharp as I needed to be to prepare for my competition. But the weird part is technique execution was actually pretty good. Okay. But I just had no gas. Yeah. And so I think that's a big part of it as well.
Well, you've been putting a lot of training hours in on that bike, so hopefully that it can contribute to the foundation for next year. So Isaiah 40:31.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's a scripture that's in your bio on IG, and I've observed you here, obviously a little bit, but also throughout your career. And how you interact with others. You seem to be one who's not shy of spreading any love or gospel as it relates to just, relating to people. Do you get extrinsic or intrinsic motivation from those relationships? You've been very supportive of your teammates. You're always, abreast to everybody's athletic, endeavor situation, and also, things that people have going on off the track. How do you keep up, and how does that help you?
A good question. God's a pillar in my life for sure. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here in general. So it's, I guess, having God as that pillar in my life, and being able to read through the Bible and really sit there and meditate on the words and the scripture. It's been really eye-opening to me, kind of seeing the way of the world, and a lot of us see ourselves as individuals, which is great. There's beauty in individualism, but sometimes I think we take it a little too far on the spectrum of individualism, where we begin to, shade over others and their accomplishments and truly building that human connection with each other. And I think personally, the Bible talks a lot about us actually coming together and being community members and actually lifting each other up. And so that's something that I try to do. And, every once in a while I do get caught up in, myself, right? And the sport's very easy to do so because it is individual. But at the end of the day, going out and supporting other people is still something that's really important. And so it really does bring that intrinsic motivation. Just like yesterday, I went and watched my team, my training partner, Jill Shippey. And that's the reason why I stayed on this trip so long, was really so I could watch her make her first World Championships and try to qualify for that final. So,
Yeah.
So talk to me about this. I mean, Longy got her medal. You were the first person I saw there just waiting for her to come back. And you just told me how you stayed to watch your training partner compete. So, I mean, it seems like, honestly, you're the big brother of the group, the heartbeat, like Eric said, or which he alluded to. But when you come to this championship, regardless of a place, regardless of the situation, your individual throws group is way different than the sprinters. You all stick together. You all speak up for each other. Like, you all are one big group. Is it really hard to see sometimes others going through struggles and then the ups and the downs? Like, do people resent each other? Are there beefs? Are there dramas? You guys have a whole, reality TV that's not really talked about in the world. We don't always see you on TV. We don't always see you at the big meets. Like, is that hard to do? Talk to us about that.
Okay. I think it's part of the reason why I did this interview, to give the throws a little more representation, to kind of let people peek into what we do. And to your point about the team dynamic amongst the throwers, we're super close-knit. I mean, there's people back at home that we still keep in touch with that aren't here right now. But it really comes with the territory. As I've gotten more involved with the AAC, right, and really seen what it means to have a group and a collective, especially with the throws. And Eric is a field event guy, right? So we seem to be the ones that get shafted first. So we really have to stick together in this sport, because otherwise you'll start to see the rights of all the athletes get taken away. And so that's something that as a thrower, and I think Rudy Winkler and Sam Mattis can really attest to this, and they'd be two great people to talk to as well. It's something that we continue to fight for the sport as a whole, because as we know, again, once they start taking it away from us, it's most likely going to affect the sprinters afterwards and the long distance runners, right? And we want to make sure that everybody has an equal playing field in the sport and everybody's seen.
And you have a great relationship with our CEO, Max Siegel. I'd like to actually touch on some of that. I know you and some of the throws group sat down last year and had some one-on-one conversations with him about how you would like some changes to be made with our organization. And I think he took that to heart. And you saw some change this year, and I think it was a huge step in the right direction. Could you talk about that process just a little bit as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So Max is a pretty good guy. I think having that real conversation with Max without having to blow up on him, as a lot of people will, and keeping the emotions in check and really sitting down and understanding him as a person. And I think I try to do this approach with everyone. Whether I agree with you or not, I really try to sit down, understand where you're coming from, and let's see if we can make a compromise and meet in the middle. And so that's an approach that I personally love, and that's why talking to Max in that regard, honestly, I feel like that's the reason why we were able to break through to him a little bit, was because I came up to him in a very comfortable way, and basically talked to him like this. We were just in a room and brought up some suggestions and some ideas, and it touched the heart, right? And that's something that obviously I want to continue those dialogues, because I think as a group, as the athletes in this organization still express these grievances and difficulties, I will say we can still find common ground, but going at it in the really aggressive, angry way is going to be really difficult. But we do have power together, and I want every event group to know that and hear that, is that if we collectively come together, we can really make a true change.
What would you say are, your extrinsic goals and intrinsic goals as it relates to your continued pursuit athletically? You spoke a little bit about the adversity you face in training, right? Having, 6 weeks and having 2 sessions is unbelievable. That you don't make it to a world championship like that, let alone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and how do you balance, being, Batman and Bruce Wayne as it relates to having a regular life and working, and then, putting that USA on and wearing that flag and, the hammer is not an event where you can, or the weight where you can kind of miss time. You know that as well as I do. So what does that balance look like? And then for you, ideally, in a perfect world, as it relates to, whether it's support from a sponsor and or how you approach training, what would be the ideal situation for you? Like, because you spoke about, what you do and what you have to do from work and et cetera, but you didn't kind of touch on what that really looks like, you know, because, you're a hero in that you're here and you're able to have continued success. Maybe not, the notion of success or the level of success you aspire to achieve. However, you are here and, we only put 3 people on the team. So just kind of touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, just to begin, I think everybody's story is different. So I've been to a couple of these at this point, and I've been working, I've been traveling, I've moved a million times, whether it was from Louisiana to California to North Carolina, following my coach in pursuit of this thing. And so every time I think it's been God orchestrated where I've been able to get plugged in really decent situations to persevere. So a lot of it's been, I guess, lack of stability. And so work has been one of those places where I can find a little bit of financial stability. And that's honestly one of the biggest things. I remember talking to my coach a couple of years ago, and I was like, the last thing I want to do is have to retire from the sport because I can't financially support myself. And so I think some of the contributions from USATF Foundation in the years that I've done well, I've been able to become tiered, right, or in developmental, at the least, right, has been super helpful in that pursuit. But I think in the perfect world, I would honestly love to get supported by the Hammer more often and have that be a majority of what supports me. And honestly, have maybe 10 hours of volunteer work in the community, whether that's coaching, whether that's working with organizations like the NAACP and some more local organizations, right? So that's something that I'm super interested in. And I think that would be the perfect life. Just because I know how I'm wired, I need something to take my mind off of just throwing. And that's something that's very key.
And really quickly, if you don't mind, you're healthy, you're home, everything's going great. Walk us through a day. Are you waking up, going to work, and then practice? Like, talk to us about your regular training day / work day.
Okay. So this past season, I'd wake up probably around 8:30, jump in the shower, take a cold shower real quick, clean myself up, go downstairs, make breakfast, usually have some type of work meeting immediately. Good thing is I work from home, which is super helpful. Get on the computer, get these work meetings done, knock out all the things that I have to do with work, which is usually about 4 to 5 hours every day. Once I did that, basically I had to hurry up and make lunch, and then I would have to hurry up and scurry out of my apartment, drive 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic, to get to practice, and then start my practice. Practice would usually take about 2 to 2.5 hours, and then I lift right after. And then after that, I drive home, another 15, 20 minutes, pretty much make dinner, and then try to watch TV or decompress the best I can in some form or fashion for at least like 2 hours. And then I'm pretty much in bed by 10:30, 11.
What do you do for work? You keep saying work. I just want to make sure you ain't got no OnlyFans. I'm trying to figure out what you say. I work from home. It was like, work from home doing what, brother?
So this one's going to surprise you, actually. And I think a lot of people don't know this, but I work for NASA.
What?
You got to be the biggest astronaut that NASA's ever attempted to send to the moon.
Hold on,
I'm joking, man.
Wait,
but yeah,
what?
we need to seek, and that's why I wanted, doing what?
Yeah.
What's going
I
on?
just saw someone said the alien exists and nobody's talking about it. So hold on, and don't tell me anything I'm not supposed to know because I'm not trying to. I like freedom. So
You like how he just slid in. I work for, I work for NASA. Like it was State Farm or something like that. Like, I work for NASA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an aerospace engineer or anything, right? But I am an administrator for the NASA New York Space Grant, all right? So it's a consortium made of about 30 institutions in New York. And so what we do is we try to provide fellowships, internships, and scholarships for students in New York specifically.
Okay.
So this program is replicated in all 50 states plus Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. So we have 52 total of these things. And the main objective is to basically get kids from K through 12 interested in STEM, specifically underrepresented minorities, to eventually build the workforce for the future of aerospace.
Wow.
I've been bamboozled.
I've been. That is good, man. That's
What?
excellent.
Yeah.
So,
You were supposed to lead with that. You
Do they
talking,
know?
Oh, just work. Anybody?
you said Bruce Wayne and Bat. So yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't know that. I was just J. Cole said that. in the
Oh,
song.
okay.
And then forgot it.
J.
Man.
Cole is the best rapper right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
By the way, man, well, Alex, man,
You
that is
see my face right now. I'm looking at you, don't you?
Yeah, most people do that. That
Yeah.
same thing when I actually tell them.
So you're used to this reaction.
Oh, 100%.
I don't
yeah.
look crazy to you. Okay.
Yeah, I know how it goes. But just to quickly continue to touch on the NASA stuff that I do in New York. If anybody, especially young Black Americans, young Latinos, women, anybody with a disability, if you are interested in seriously considering space, and I'm talking about the little ones all the way up through people in college, they absolutely need to increase the diversity within NASA because honestly, the future of space and innovation and science in general is really going to need more diversity, not just in skin color or religion, but also in thought. And as we know, innovation is at its greatest when your organization has diversity.
Well, Alex, man, we appreciate you coming by and dropping that jewel on us, especially, man. And go ahead and hit us with your social media and how people can continue to support you and follow your journey in athletic endeavors, but also your journey as a young Black man. Man, it's amazing what you're doing in the communities as it relates to NASA in New York, and then also your perspective on community as a whole.
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram at ayo_young1. You can find me on Facebook as well. LinkedIn if you'd like to connect. And seriously, if anybody has any questions about NASA, if you have any questions about athletics, track and field, hammer, anything, I'm all up for it. I'd love to connect with any community leaders who are interested in maybe speaking. I would love to definitely connect with you and honestly build up the next generation because there's a lot of great people who otherwise don't see the light, and I want to be the light that they're seeing so they can move on.
Well, we appreciate you, man, for blessing
I'm
us.
inspired.
No, man, yeah, no. Without a doubt, we appreciate your time, Alex, and thank you for coming. And I'm gonna talk to you offline about Area 51, brother, because I know you're recording this and I don't want to
Please don't
get
do
them
it.
call from the Alphabet Boys.